Hello and welcome to a session of Fit Essentials coming at you today from Asheville, North Carolina. Happy to be here. My name is Shauna. For those that I may not know, let's go ahead and come on up to our feet. All right, we're going to start with our spinal cord breathing. Set your feet just underneath those hips, toes pointing straight ahead. Stand nice and tall out of your hips. And we're going to circle our arms around, bringing the forearms together, palms together. Now you're going to tuck your pelvis and your hips under you. Pull the belly button in and bow forward. On the inhale, we're going to open. Breathe in through your nose. Lift. Turn your head up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky as you divide the arms, lifting and opening the chest. On the exhale, you're going to reverse it. Curl back, tucking yourself up like a ball. Exhale fully. Try to breathing through the nose. And this is our pattern. We'll spend about a minute here. Breathing in. Expand. Exhale, curl up. Good. Cycle through at your own pace. Try to pause at the top and the bottom of each breath for just a moment. Good. 2 to 3 more cycles. Breathe in and expand. Divide the fingers, spread the palms. Exhale, curl under. Good, I'll guide you through one more. Lifting up, open. After this last exhale, go ahead and relax the arms down. Bring those arms down to the sides. Gently step your feet a little bit wider. And next, we're going to go into some shoulder rolls. So we're going to go backwards, up into the ears, and then back and down. Feel free to use all the arms into it, not just the shoulders. So start to move those elbows as well. Rolling them up and back. Try to alternate which arm comes on top as you cycle through. Very good. From here, go ahead and keep those arms up at the shoulders. Get a little bend into your knees, and we're going to take it into some gentle torso rotations. Turning your body to one side, following with your head and neck. Pausing there, and then when you're ready, back to center. As you breathe in, or excuse me, as you exhale, rotate the other direction. Gently exhale and turn. Turning the head as well. Very good. Back to center. Let's go about twice more to each side. Staying nice and tall up out of the hips. Never forcing anything, just finding that gentle end range. Kind of gently exhale that air out as you rotate. Very good. About one more each side. Turn and peer. And last time, second time. Welcome, Jean. Very good. Once you finish that last rotation, relax those arms down, reset the feet, and we're going to take it into our gates of heaven. Let's get a nice flow through the hips. Let those arms be heavy at the sides. And you can start to let them gently bend at the elbows and just tap against your torso. See if you can coordinate that breathing so that as the arms gently tap the body, you have an exhale with that. There you go. Good. We'll spend about another 20 seconds here. Arms heavy, neck long. Guiding the motion with the hips. Very good. Good. A couple more side to side. And then just practice gently bringing yourself back to a stop. Fantastic. Go ahead and walk those feet in. Let's take your right hand on the right hip. Left hand's going to start up at the left shoulder. We're going to go cross body reach into a side stretch. So you're reaching straight across the body, bringing it back, bringing it across. Very good. And you're just going to gradually begin to reach a little bit higher. So from shoulder height to the chin, then up to the forehead. And then just meet your shoulders where you are, how you're feeling this morning. You're ready to come up to overhead. Try to follow your hand with your eyes, peering up at your hand as you stretch across, bringing it back down to the shoulder, up and across. And to sink in that breathing, inhale as I bring it down, exhale as I reach across. 1 to 2 more. Down and up. Feel that stretch up out of the side body. Last one. Down and up. Very good. Before we go to that opposite side, let's take it into a little side step and arm swing. Just nice and gentle. As those arms swing back, shoulders down out of the ears, and rotate the palms of your hand forward. Very good. Fantastic. Couple more side to side. Standing tall, neck long. Very good. Anchor your feet back down on the floor, standing up tall out of those hips, shoulders back. Now we'll go your left hand to the left hip. Right hand starts by the right shoulder. And initially, cross body reach, reaching straight across. Palm faces down towards the floor initially, gradually reaching slightly higher each time. Very good. Reaching across, feeling that side body lengthen. As you start to get up to about the level of the forehead, and as you start to reach overhead, now you'll gaze up towards the hand, and you'll begin to turn that palm up towards the ceiling. And spread those fingers nice and wide. Widen that palm, widen the grip, widen the reach. Couple more, down and across. Down and across. Very good. You either stick with the side step or start to reach up overhead and back to that regular side step. Good job. So more of a step jack. If anybody wants a little bit faster heart rate right now, if you want to go into a regular jumping jack, you're welcome to it. Otherwise, we'll just stick with a nice steady step. About another 20 seconds here. Very good. Shoulders back and down, widening through those chest and shoulders. Wonderful. Very nice. Keeping that breathing nice and smooth. All right, go ahead and relax those arms down. Bringing the feet straight back under the hips. Stand up nice and tall, either behind the head or across the shoulders. Slight bend in those knees, taking it into a few good mornings. So we're going to go long spine, bowing forward. Turn the head down towards the floor. Push through your legs, standing tall, squeeze your backside. And between 3 and 5, long spine, looking down. And squeeze those glutes as you stand. Very good. Couple more. Say hello to those hamstrings. And make sure here you're not locking those knees out. So just a little bend in those knees. Pull the belly button in. Fantastic. And one more. Forward and up. Fantastic. All right, we're going to open up those hip flexors next. Let's go ahead and take your left foot. You're going to step it forward. Right foot's going to step back. Keep your feet about hip width apart. If you're comfortable to reach up overhead, we're going to do that. Otherwise, hands across the shoulders. Reaching up nice and tall, lift up out of those hips. And now we're just going to very gently shift those hips forward, making sure you're keeping that front heel planted. And we want to focus on squeezing this glute. So rock it back, rock it forward, squeeze that glute, lift the chest. Couple more. Rock it back, rock it forward, open. One more. Back and up and release. Fantastic. Same thing other side. Let's see. It's going to be your right foot forward, left foot back, standing tall, reaching up, lengthen, and rock it forward and back. Give that attention to that trail leg. Squeeze that glute and pay attention to the position of that front shin. You want to have that heel planted, knee in alignment. Beautiful. And release. Very good. Behind the back stretch next. Widen out that stance. Stand tall. Interlace those hands behind you. Extend those arms. Keep the front of the ribs tucked down. Now root down in those legs, and if you're comfortable, send those hips back. Pull those arms up to overhead. Breathe nice and deep into the back of that torso. Trying to expand the back of the rib cage. 1 to 2 more breaths. And last one. Very good. If you're in that forward fold, go ahead and come on up to the top, and everybody release those arms. All right, fantastic. We're going to go reverse arm circles, one arm at a time, reaching forward, stretching back, and we're going to alternate arms, other side. As I'm circling through my shoulder, I'm stretching the hand out, trying to see how far I can spread from the tip of my little finger to the end of the thumb. Very nice. Couple more. Open and reach. Same thing other side. Open and reach. Good. Last time. Very good. All right, we're going to go back to that stagger stance. So you're going to step your left foot forward again, right foot back. Keeping those ribs down, you're going to reach your right arm straight up in the air. Pull that chin in, lengthening through the spine as you bend that elbow, tricep side bend. Rooting down to that front heel, keeping it planted, and gently bend to the side. Keep your gaze looking straight ahead and think about pulling your chin in, trying to lengthen through the back of the neck. Breathe in as you lengthen, and then exhale as you take it into that side bend. Good, 1 to 2 more. Fantastic. On this last one, if you're comfortable with it, you bend to the side, and then ever so gently think about turning your downside shoulder and trying to peer up towards the ceiling. Breathe 1 to 2 times there into wherever you feel that tension. For me, it's right here in the front of the rib cage. 1 more breath. And then unwind your body and relax those arms down. Very good. Let's go ahead and shake it out. Shake those arms, shake the hips, shake the legs. And same thing, other side. Very good. Right foot sets down, left foot steps back. Make sure you're not sway back. So tuck those ribs down, reach that left arm straight up. Very good. Chin in, bend that elbow, reach up and around best you can. Lengthen. Grabbing that elbow and then taking it to the side. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. In and out. Couple more. And on this last one, as you'd like, side bend and then rotate that downside shoulder. Turn the gaze up towards the ceiling, breathing into the area of tension. Very good. Uncurl, unwind, and release. All right, feel free to either take it onto the floor or join me seated in the chair. If you're headed to the floor, you're gonna lie on your back. Your water bottle's nearby. Feel free to grab a quick drink. All right, everyone. So as you make your way either onto your back or into a seated position, you're going to take your left leg. If you're seated, you're going to grab that left shin. You're going to pull the knee towards the same side shoulder. And now we're going to go into some ankle rolls here. Lifting the foot and toes, pointing the foot and toes, and rolling it around. We'll go between 5 and 10 times one way. Especially those that you are seated and hugging your leg in. Watch that upper body posture. So we tend to shrug those shoulders up. Stay lengthened. Hold those shoulders back and down. When you're ready, reverse directions, 5 to 10 the other way. Pretty normal to have those little clicks and pops. As you're rolling the ankle around, you kind of think about wiggling the toes as well. Get all the bones and such moving as much as you can. All right, when you're ready, set that side down. Same thing other way. Pull that leg up and in, and roll that foot around. 5 to 10 one way. And 5 to 10 the other. All right, very good. From here, let's go back to your first leg. We're going to take it into a glute stretch. So if you're on your back, you'll start by pulling the leg up to the same side shoulder, and then you're going to pull it across the body towards the opposite shoulder. If you're seated here with me, if you can hook that foot around, you're going to hook your foot over the opposite leg. And now we're simply hugging that thigh in. We're looking to target this outer glute, outer hip area. Feel free to close those eyes. Just take some nice, smooth breaths. Very good. About 10 more seconds here. Kind of guide that leg up and down if you're feeling any stiff areas, or if you feel like one area has begun to lengthen, look for another spot. All right, set that side down. Same thing, opposite leg. If you're seated, continue to sit tall. Keep checking in with your posture. Pulling it up and crossing it over best as able. Hugging that leg in. Again, looking to target this outer hip. And breathe. Good, couple more breaths. And when you're ready, go ahead and release that side. Very nice. If you're on your back, just bend your knees with your feet flat on the ground. Those of you seated with me here in the chair, divide the feet a little bit wider, about hip width apart, and ever so gently, we're gonna windshield wiper those knees side to side. Very good. Fantastic. Those of you on your back, if you want to bring your legs up to 90 and take it into a 2-knee twist. Those of you seated in the chair, we're going to go into our forward fold. Hand on the thighs, gently slide forward, bow down. You can also go double knee to chest if you're on your back. Here in the chair, control how far forward you fold, and now send your breath into the back, wherever you feel that tension, typically mid-back, low back. Nice deep breaths in and slightly exaggerate that exhale. So just a little bit longer than your normal breath. 2 to 3 more. Breathe in. And out. Last one. Very good. And just be nice and gentle here, bringing yourself back up to vertical. If you're on the floor, go ahead and make your way back up to your seat. All right, if your water's nearby, let's grab a drink. And then we're gonna come up to our feet, get ready for our first circuits. And I'll talk us through it on the first round. We're gonna have the choice, either a single leg balance, which I'll demo on round 1, or those of you that know the single leg deadlift, that's our second option. So as a reminder, you stand tall, bowing forward, reaching down for the toes. But I'm gonna be demoing the balance today, so feel free if you know the deadlift and wanna choose to do that. But first, everyone, we're gonna start with our cross crawl patterns. So we're gonna stand nice and tall. As much as we work our body, we also wanna work our brain, keeping the right side talking to the left and the left talking to the right. So we're gonna start with long arms, and we're gonna go left arm towards the right leg, right arm towards the left leg. Make sure you continue to stand tall out of the hips. You can't quite touch the other side of your body, just do the best you can. And your choice on how far you want to reach. So right now I'm just touching the opposite thigh. If you have a little bit more flexibility, if you want to reach a little bit farther on down your leg, you're welcome to it. Otherwise, about another 20 seconds here. Keep that breathing consistent. Good, 10 more seconds. And 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. All right, getting ready for either the single leg deadlift or single leg balance. You're gonna start on your left leg. Have your toes pointing straight ahead. Try to push that big toe down to the floor. Lift up like we have strings pulling us up towards the sky. And when you're ready, here we go. Either single leg balance or that deadlift. Shoulders back and down, standing tall. Very good. So we don't want to let that hip kick out. Keep lifting up. You're doing those deadlifts in between every rep. That's 15 seconds. Anytime you need to set that other foot down for a pause. Very good. Holding strong. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Very nice. Set that side down in between legs. We're going to go hip circles. So hands on the hips and circle those hips around. Nice and smooth. There you go. 3 to 5 in one direction, and then when you're ready, we'll reverse, take it the other way. All right, wonderful work. We're getting ready for that opposite leg. So on your right side this time, set that foot down, put the toes pointing straight on, push that big toe down, lift everything up, and 3, 2, 1, here we go. Up to you how far you lift your foot off the ground. So you can keep it nice and low to the ground, or if you feel a little bit more confident with your balance, you can start to pull that knee up to about the level of the hip. Try not to let the foot drop down as well. Lift that foot, engage that ankle. Good, shoulders back, trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together as you lengthen through your neck. 10 seconds left. Good, lifting up out of those hips, holding strong. 3, 2, 1, and release. Very good. Shake it out. Grab a quick drink, and we're going to be back to our cross crawl. That's set one. We're going to do it twice more. So you can stick with that straight arm, straight leg version we did the first time. If you'd like to progress the movement, now we'll go knee towards the opposite elbow. All right, everybody, going in 3, 2, 1. Here we go, if you haven't already. Still working on that stability, lifting up. Your stability starts at that foot and ankle, so grip the toes down, push that big toe into your mat or into the sole of your shoes if you have your shoes on. First 20 seconds. We're going 45 on this one. Woo. And as anything, if you kind of bobble a little bit, notice your self-talk. Try not to get into a critical mode. Try to just kind of laugh at yourself and course correct. All right, everyone, 10 seconds left. Continue to breathe. 2, 1, and rest. All right, either single leg deadlift on the left leg or single leg balance. Place that left foot down. Lift up through your midline, standing as tall as you can from the bottom of your foot to the top of your head. 2, 1, here we go, on your left leg. Eyes looking straight on. Those of you doing those single leg deadlifts, great work. Hinging forward, trying to stay as long as you can from the top of your head to the tip of your toe. Very good. That's 20 seconds, 10 to go. Feel that ankle kind of not adjusting, but course correcting, working that balance. 2, 1, and shake it out. All right, a little side step. Just get a kind of a little swing of the arms here. And a little bit of rotation side to side. Continuing to breathe. Wonderful. You can look over that shoulder as well as you swing that arm back. Follow that hand with your gaze. Couple more each side. And relax. All right, let's get that right leg ready to go. Point those toes straight ahead. Push that big toe down. Lifting up, you got that marionette puppet strings, pulling yourself up. 2, 1, and begin. It's our last exercise of set 2. We'll have one more round after this. Good. That's halfway, 15 seconds to go. Keep holding strong, avoiding that hip to kick out. Gripping those toes down, so you think about pushing the bottom of the toes into your mat. 2, 1, and relax. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and kind of open up the front of the hips a little bit by bringing the hands onto the lower back, having a little bend in those knees, and now I want you to pull those elbows back, engage your glutes, and just very gently look up towards the sky. As far as you're comfortable here, extending back. If you have any kind of pinch in your low back, please come forward. 1 or 2 more breaths. And release. Very good. Shake those arms out. Let's grab a quick drink and we back to that cross crawl here in 15 seconds. On this next round, the advance or the progression of this, if you'd like something a little bit different, will be that behind the back step, hand to the opposite foot. All right, going in 5, 3, 2, 1, and begin. So hand to the opposite foot, stepping behind the body. Very good. Taking your time, go as slow as you need to feel stable in that movement. Doesn't have to be about speed. Very good. You can always even add the challenge. Sometimes it's hard to go fast, but it can also be very challenging to go slow. You work on building that control of the movements, pausing in different positions, and being mindful of your movements. A lot of times when we think fitness, we think speed and power. But there's many different aspects. Fantastic. Almost there. Maybe one more time each side. And 2, 1, and rest. All right, last time on that single leg work, Even on the balance, if you want to add a little bit of a challenge, if you set the arms out to the side, if you want to hold a little bit of a weight or your water bottle just underneath the chin. Place that left foot down, toes pointing straight ahead, lifting up, 2, 1, here we go. So either the balance or back to that single leg deadlift. Fantastic. Remember to lengthen through the neck as well, not letting those shoulders start to sneak up into those ears. That's 20 seconds, 10 to go. Well done, looking strong, very stable, and rest on that side. Very good. If you're holding a weight, go ahead and set it down for a moment. Hands on the hips instead of our circles. Let's just gently rock those hips side to side. Not overreaching, but just gently kind of stretch out that side of the hip, moving a little bit different fashion than you do on a normal basis. Very good. After that, side to side, just ever so gently bowing forward and gently arching back or simply standing tall. Again, trying to avoid any kind of pinch in that spine. Forward and back, forward and back. All right, let's go ahead and finish up this set. We have that second leg. So your right foot, I'll be on my left, placing that foot down, pushing that big toe into your mat, standing tall, 2, 1, and begin. Very good. Great focus. That's our halfway mark. Remember, anytime you need a break, set that foot down and come back in just under 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Set it down, shake it out. Let's grab a drink. All right, everyone. We're getting ready for a single leg, or sorry, not a single leg, single arm sumo deadlift and an overhead press or an overhead reach. If you have anything going on with your shoulder, recommend don't use weights, just kind of move through that range of motion that can be pain-free. Before we jump into it, let's go into our toe touch. Walk your feet in so they're just underneath those hips, toes pointing straight ahead. Start by standing up nice and tall, palms on the thighs. Just a little bend in those knees, and now we're gonna curl down, bring the chin to the chest, and think about just nice and slow, rounding forward, pulling the belly button in, and holding strong in your legs. See how far you can reach down without overstretching. And when you get to what feels like your bottom position for this moment, pause there. Think about breathing a couple breaths. Notice how far you can comfortably reach in this moment. And then when you're ready, sort of tuck those hips under and gradually make your way back up to the top. Very good. Roll those shoulders back, standing nice and tall. And now that was just a little check-in, seeing where our mobility is. But as we go into this deadlift, we want to think long spine. So we're going to walk our feet a little bit wider, standing tall. And now you're going to bow forward, sending those hips back, avoiding that rounding position. All right. If you have some weights to work with, let's go ahead and grab those. If you're not quite sure about how all this works, you can always watch the first round. I'll be taking you through 3 rounds. If you have a light enough weight to hold it with one hand, you're going to hold it in your left hand to start. Walking your feet just outside the hips. Hold that weight in close to your center of gravity. Slight bend in those knees. And 2, 1. Here we go. Setting those hips back, bowing forward, driving your knees out. Squeeze the glutes and stand. If you were someone that had a tough time reaching down towards the floor, if you didn't get much past the shins, then I don't recommend going all the way to the floor with your weight. Maybe knee height, mid-shin, just far enough that you can hold that nice posture of your spine. Squeeze the glutes as you stand. Good. Long spine, hinging over. And maybe one more. Holding strong. 2, 1, and rest. Good. Switch up the weights as needed or set the weight down altogether. We're going to bring it up to the shoulder on the same side. Nice and stable, and we're going into our overhead press next. 2, 1. Here we go. Pushing straight up. Elbow comes forward as you lower it down. Good. Instead of hand on the hip, if anything, place your non-working hand on the abdomen, right on the front of the rib cage to make, and use that as a cue to avoid arching that back. Exhale as you push up. Inhale as you lower down. About 10 more seconds. And 2, 1, and rest. Very good. We're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side of the body. So we'll go back to that sumo deadlift, walking the feet just outside the hips, switching the weight to your right hand. 2, 1, when you're ready, long spine, send the hips back, bowing forward. Squeeze the glutes, straight up at the top. Very nice. So we're working for 30, and I've allotted about 15 seconds in between movements. Those of you that might transition a little bit faster, if you want a little bit more work than that 30 seconds, as always, you're always welcome to jump right into that next movement. Squeeze those glutes. Make sure you're not arching back at the top, just straight up and down. Maybe one more. Bowing forward and stand and rest. Good job. Walk those feet back in. Both toes pointing straight ahead. Overhead press in the right arm next. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. You can take that right hand on the front of the hips. Excuse me, it'd be your left. Breathe in and exhale. Good. You want to maintain that ability to reach up to overhead, making sure we can get everything out of the cupboards. Keep those shoulders healthy and happy. But at the same time, if you have anything going on, you don't want to force the body into ranges of motion it may not be ready for. Try one more here. Reach and lower and rest. Fantastic. That's set 1. We're going to take about 20 seconds, and then we're going to roll into set 2. Feel free to grab a quick drink. We'll be back with the sumo deadlift in your left arm. Great job, everyone. As always, if you need a little bit more rest, feel free to go every other round. All righty, walk those feet just outside the hips, standing tall. And here we go. Long spine, bowing forward. And watch that head position as well. I know I don't always demo the best head position as I'm trying to do my best to keep an eye on all of you. But ideally for yourself, you want to be looking down towards the floor as you bow forward, pulling that chin in. Think forehead down to the floor. And at the top, it look kind of strange if you're still looking down at the floor. So look straight ahead. Have your neck follow your spine. 2, 1, and transition. Very good. We're going to that overhead press next. If you'd like, we can take it into a stagger stance where you step your left foot back just a little bit. 2, 1, and begin. Push straight up. Fantastic. Keep that breathing smooth. Very good. We've gotten to see a black bear roaming the streets here in North Asheville, our way into town. That was pretty neat. Maybe 1 or 2 more here, pushing nice and high. Elbow comes forward. And rest and rotate. Great work. Switching sides of the body, moving the weights to your right side. Going back to that single arm deadlift. Walk those feet a little bit wider. And 2, 1. Here we go. Slight bend in those knees. Sending those hips back like you're trying to push your hips back towards the wall. Squeeze and stand. Looking down. Fantastic. And then depending upon your experience level, if you want to move a little bit faster on this, you're welcome to it. Always recommend to have a little bit of control as you lower. Think about coming slightly slower on the down, slightly smoother, a little bit more dynamic on the up. Bowing forward. 2, 1, and rest. Very good. Taking it back to that overhead press. If you want to do that stagger stance, the side holding the weight is going to step back. Ready? And begin. Push straight up. Elbow comes forward. Think about engaging that glute so you can kind of squeeze the bum. I find it a little bit easier to activate that glute when I'm in that stagger stance position. Halfway through. Good, 1 to 2 more. And rest. Fantastic, that's the end of set 2. We'll take 20 seconds and keep it going into that third round. If you want a little bit longer rest, take off this third round and join us back in for our final circuit. 10 seconds. Back to that left arm, walk those feet out. Standing tall up out of your hips and begin. Push those knees wide, bowing down. Very good. Halfway. There you go. Looks good, Diane. Maybe just a little bit more knee bend as you get towards the bottom. So when you get that weight to about the height of the knee, think about bending the knees a little bit more. And rest. All righty, last time, overhead press on your left arm. If you want to go stagger stance, step that left foot back and begin. Good. And it's pretty common, people want to send that elbow wide. So elbow forward and up. Find a spot straight ahead to focus on. Moving well. Great job. There you go. Good push, Sharon. And rest. Awesome job. Last time. Right side of the body. All righty. Walk those feet out. Stand tall out of the hips. Ready and begin. And always making sure, we didn't talk about it today, but there's that tendency to let that weight kind of sneak away from the body. So engage your upper body, engage that lat. That's how you hold it close. You want to keep that weight close to your center of gravity. You'll have less strain on that low back. Looks good. So if you were going to go all the way to the floor, you basically set it right about in line with your ankles. And rest. Good job. Final overhead press. Up to the shoulder. Stagger stance would be the same side foot standing back, hand on the front of the ribs, and begin when you're ready. Straight up, elbow forward. Great job. Thanks for your patience with the lighting today. Pretty good, but a little bit of a shadow. Hopefully you can see the movements well enough. Strong, good. 10 seconds left. Keep trying to fire that back glute. 2, 1, and rest. All right, everybody, set it down. Let's shake it out and grab a drink. All right, we have 4 rounds on our final circuit today. One of the exercises is going to be an option for some squatting. If your energy is a little bit low, I recommend work every other round with me instead of all rounds straight on. First, we're going to start with a quad stretch. So feel free to balance as needed, lifting up nice and tall, best you can. If you can grab that foot, you're going to try to grab the foot, pull it towards the heel, stretching out the quad. Very good. So the exercises today is going to be a uneven carry or a single arm farmer's carry. Then we're going to either squat to a chair or without the assistance. Go ahead and shake that foot out. Same thing other side. Then we'll do our carry on the opposite side of the body. And our final 30 seconds, you can either take a full rest, a little bit of rebounding, a little bit of dancing, anything to kind of shake it up, give a little bit extra blood flow. Alrighty, nice and smooth here, holding for just a little bit longer, get a nice stretch for those quads. And go ahead and release. All right, let's warm up those squats. So great time, support yourself by holding on to a chair or a doorway. If you're secure in your squat, then just reach those arms straight out. Walk your feet just a little bit wider. Bye, Diane. Standing tall and nice and gradual. Feet stay planted. Send those hips back. Push those knees out and keep your chest up. Now drive your feet into the ground. Use the upper body as needed, but mostly focus on the legs. And 1 or 2 more, sitting back. Try to sink those hips below the knees driving wide. And now drive down, pull up, and shake it out. All right, fantastic. So every other round, I'm gonna demo a regular squat versus to the chair. Those of you that are not doing a lot of carries, I recommend just holding one weight. If you've done quite a bit of carries with me, want a little bit more challenge, you'll hold one at the hip and one up at the shoulder, either here at the shoulder, or if you want more of a challenge, up to overhead. All right, so we'll work for 30. All right, so if you're gonna hold just one weight, or those of you holding 2, you're gonna hold that one weight in your left arm. Those of you holding 2, you'll have the lighter weight in your right. Ready, and begin. And you can either hold it stationary, or if you want a little bit more blood flow, we'll march. So it's like a carry. With these uneven weights, we're focused on our posture. So especially when you're holding just one, it tends to drag us down. So work against that, staying tall, holding everything nice and level. Very good. Knees up, feet up. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Squats are next. You're welcome to hold weight for your squats. I'm going to show this first set to the chair. So set your feet about hip width apart, standing nice and tall, and whenever you're ready, you'll reach out, send the hips back, drive those knees wide. Good. Great control. Down and up, pushing through your legs. Fantastic. Good. Reaching back and up, halfway through. Those of you that are lowering down to a chair, practice to just gently sit down. Try to not avoid that plopping down. If you do find yourself plopping, just kind of laugh and then come back up. All right, last one and rest. Fantastic. Shake it out. We're going back to the carry. This time you're going to have your heavier weight in your left hand. Excuse me, your right hand. If you're holding 2, other one here. Ready, and begin. Messing up my rights and left. What do we say when we mess up? Just laugh, we're human. Good, holding balanced, holding as level as you can, working that posture. When you're holding the hands down at the side, there's that tendency to kind of round with the shoulder forward. So set that shoulder blade back, just slightly turn your palm forward and hold that nice strong posture. Fantastic. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, either really take that rest, or here's when you get that chance, dance around. Hopefully you got some good music playing on your end. You're up for a little bit of bounce. Nice and light here. Get a good shake through your body. And breathe. All right, fantastic. 10 more seconds. Woo! There you go. Jean's got some good music on. 2, 1, and everybody rest. All right, we're gonna take 15 seconds. You're welcome to rest this next round. Join us on the following. Otherwise, we're gonna go back to the heavier weight in your left hand, lighter weight in your right. 3, 2, 1, and round 2. March it out. Yeah, fantastic. Those of you that want a little bit more overhead work today, I don't recommend it if you tend to have quite a bit of stiffness in your upper traps and your neck area. But if you want that extra challenge for your shoulders, reach up nice and high. Very good, 10 seconds left. Good, reach a little bit higher, try to keep that arm locked out. Weight right over the center of your head, and everybody rest. Very nice, squats are next. So you're welcome to stick to squatting to the chair. Walk those feet just outside the hips. Eyes up, ready, and begin. Sitting back into the heels. without lifting your toes up. So oftentimes we focus on keeping the weight in the heels. We lift those toes to try to keep pushing that big toe down as you sit back. Good. Smooth breathing. Move at your rhythm. Fantastic. Great depth, ladies. 2, 1, and rest. All right, going back to our uneven carry. If you're holding one arm, it's going to be heavier weight or single weight in the right side, lighter weight in the left. And begin either up at the shoulders, call it the front rack position, or up to overhead. Second half of set 2. As I mentioned, we have 4 sets total today. There you go. Remember to keep that shoulder set back, keep that posture tall, almost there. 2, 1, and everybody rest. Woo, set it down, shake it out. And our rebounding, dance, jump, shake your body, smile. Build those positive reinforcements with movement. Whatever your previous story was about fitness, you can recreate it. We all know fitness keeps us independent, keeps us strong in our body. So let's make it fun. 2, 1, and there's our rest. All right, take a quick breath, or rather quick drink. We'll be back to it in 15 seconds. Those of you that rested on round 2, join us again for set 3. All right, for that heavier carry or a single arm hold in your left hand. 2, 1, and begin. Shoulder back and breathe. That option to have that lighter weight up at the shoulder or again up to overhead. And if you're getting a little bit tired of the march, just practice standing tall, standing still. You don't have to always be marching. There's also benefit by just holding these postures, practicing holding weights without letting your body collapse down. There you go. And relax. Fantastic. Third round of squats. Even if you're squatting to the chair, if you feel ready to hold a little bit of weight, you can hold it right underneath your chin or in each shoulders. And begin, sending the hips back. Good, continue to breathe. Excellent. Keep those eyes looking straight ahead, chest up. Great job, Laura. You got it, Sharon. There you go. Solid depth. Smooth, Jean, great rhythm. And everybody rest on those squats. Second carry, picking that weight up in your right hand for the one you hold at the waist. If you want that second weight, in the left. And here we go. Woo. Keep that stationary hold, setting that shoulder back, turning the palm slightly forward. Wonderful. Working those fundamentals. Continue to pull up through that midline. Keep your core engaged, supporting through those hips. And rest. All righty, rounds 3. Dance, rebound. If anybody wants to do some jumping jacks, all that's fantastic. And those of you that are like, hey, I'm definitely not meant to be jumping anymore, you can just really lightly just kind of bounce your body, shake the body. It's good for your lymphatic system, support your immune system, keep everything flushing and moving through that body. So it doesn't always have to be a dynamic jump. Just a little bounce. Bounce and shake. Almost there. 2, 1, and that's the end of 3. All right, 20 seconds. If you have had plenty for the day, Then call that. Celebrate that you got that work done and just hang out, and we'll do our cool down stretch here in just a couple minutes. Otherwise, picking that weight up into your left hand, holding at your side, lighter weight in the right. And begin. Fourth and final round. Keep your focus. It's really common that as you start to get towards the finish, obviously you're a little bit more fatigued. So it's easy to not pay as good of attention, not to stay as stable through your joints and hips. Hips being one of your main joints. All right, everyone, 10 seconds left. Stepping it out. And rest. Beautiful. Final round of squats coming up. Weight to the shoulders. If you want to start early, feel free. Otherwise, set those feet. Eyes up, 2, 1. Here we go. Staying tall, staying strong. Nice. There you go, good. Way to reach for that depth floor, reaching back, taking your time in the bottom. Great rhythm there, Jean. Try not to bounce, just control down, pushing those feet into the floor, generating that upward force or downward force to send your body up. And rest. All right, final 2 stations. Last carry, picking up in your right hand. If you're holding a lighter weight in your left. 2, 1, here it is. Oh yes, the humidity of the east. Really helps us to detox, get a good sweat going. Woo! Very nice, everyone. We're over halfway on this final carry. Keep your posture tall, eyes up. Standing up out of those hips, shoulders back. And 2, 1, all done there. If you took that final little bit off, you feel up for coming back up to your feet. And here's our final little bit. Bouncing, jumping jacks, dance, however you want to move your body. Final 30 seconds, here we go. Feel free to clap, generate some energy. Woo! Good, step jacks or jump jacks. 10 seconds. Here you go, good, finishing strong. All right, it is very slow. Let's bring it back down. And everybody rest. All right, grab that water and we'll finish with a cool down stretch. Very good. All right, if you can stay on your feet just a little bit longer, we're gonna go to the doorway or the wall first for our pec stretch, opening up that chest. So bring that arm up to about 90 degrees, place it against your door frame or the wall. Whichever side you have against the wall, step that foot forward. And then as always, making sure front of the ribs stay down. Those ribs down, lean forward, feel a nice opening in the front of that chest. And now you're gonna rotate away. Follow your hand with your gaze, carrying over that opposite shoulder. All right, let's go ahead and come out of that one. Same thing on the opposite side. Again, elbow up at 90, place it. Inside leg steps forward. There's that tendency to lean back. So you want to stay nice and neutral, lean forward, and then turning away. Rotate that head as well. Try to peer over that opposite shoulder. Seeing if you can bring your breathing in through the nose and gently out through the mouth. And when you're ready, go ahead and come off the wall there. All right, from here, let's either take it to the floor or to the chair. All right, if you're headed to the floor, let's come onto your back. seated here in the chair. We're gonna make our way into a figure 4 stretch for the hips, but we're gonna repeat that glute stretch that we did first. So on your back or on the chair, you're gonna pull that leg up and into the same side of the body. Swing that leg around, sitting nice and tall, hugging it in. Very good. And if you're comfortable with this stretch, if you want to go a little bit deeper to open up that hip, we'll take it into figure 4. So seated in the chair, you're just going to simply allow that knee to drop down. Continue to sit tall. If you'd like, you can take your hand on the same side of the body, place it on the knee. And as always, we don't want anything super intense. So if you find yourself kind of wincing, back out of that stretch just a little bit. 10 more seconds. And when you're ready, go ahead and come out of that. We're gonna go same thing on the opposite side. So starting with that glute stretch, hugging it in, bringing it across the body. Things feeling good there. You can transition to that figure 4, letting that knee drop down. On your back, you hug that leg in. And we'll hold about 20 seconds here. These are great stretches to do when you're maybe just out in somewhere, if you're seated in a chair, watching a television program, traveling. You can often, even working in an office, figure 4 can often be a great stretch to utilize. And maybe you otherwise might feel a little awkward just doing some stretches. But I'd like to see us normalize just stretching in the daily patterns of life. All right, go ahead and come up out of that. If you're on the ground, let's take it into child's position. So turning it over. You're seated in the chair, we'll go that forward fold again. Or actually, you know what I want to do instead? Come up out of your chair and you're going to walk around or else come to the chair. So still go to child's position if you're on the floor. Those of you that are standing, we're going to place the hands either on a wall or the back of the chair. Go ahead and step back. And now we're going to drop that chest down, lower the head down, and feel a nice stretch in the back of the body. And as always, focus on the breath, sending it into the area that you feel some tension. Very good. Those of you on the floor, walk your hands to one side. Those of you standing, come up out of that for a second, shake it out. And then we come back into it. Instead of being straight on with our hands, I'm going to walk my hands to the left side, kind of take my right hand, reach across my body. And now I get a little bit more into this lat on my right side. So on the floor, we call it child's pose, side stretch. So now I can focus the breathing into the right side of the body for about 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, come up as needed, walk your hands to the opposite side, same thing. Left hand reaches across the body, gently lower down, drop the head down, and feel that stretch. Breathing into those areas of tension. One or two more breaths. And come up when you're ready. Those of you on the floor, we're going to do our rotations from all fours. If you're standing with me, take it back to seated. So our behind the head, either elbow to the opposite elbow or seated, we'll go opposite thigh, sit tall, and pivot. Follow the elbow with your eyes, peering over that shoulder. Close it down, sitting tall, and gently pivot. Anywhere between 5 and 8 on each side. Close it down, sit tall, and rotate. Breathing in to close, and then exhale on the rotation, sending a significant amount of air out of the lungs to help increase just a little bit more rotation. It's like wringing out your torso like a towel. When you're ready, same thing, opposite side. Hand behind the head, elbow to the opposite side of the body, sit tall, and rotate. Breathe in to close, exhale to open. Fantastic, 2 to 3 more. All right, very good. When you finish that, we're gonna just go ahead and come on into a seated position. Some of you are already there in the chair, and we'll just finish with a couple of stretches for the head and neck. So seated nice and tall, you wanna think about lengthening through that spine. We're gonna begin with extension and flexion. So you're gonna bring the chin down to the chest, looking down. Feel free to close the eyes on this. And then when you're ready, we're gonna look up, shoulders back and down, gently peer up. Very good. We're gonna go twice more. If you wanna add a little overpressure as we look down, fingertips, imagining the weight of a quarter or dime just on the top of your head, ever so gently, just encouraging some lengthening through the back of the neck. And then as we look up, we're gonna cross the hands over the chest. If you're comfortable with this, we'll just give a little downward tissue pull and then look straight up. Very good. If you're in a soft chair, if you're able to lift up, you're gonna go palm up, place it underneath your sit bone on that side, anchor that side down, bring that shoulder back and down. From here, as we sit tall, chin in, you're gonna lower it towards your chest first, and then imagine you're trying to touch your chin towards your left collarbone if you're sitting on your right side. So tucking it down. If you wanna use your left hand to fingertips on the right side of your head, just ever so gently feeling that stretch kind of along the back side, but along the side of the neck there, up into where that trap comes up into your neck. And gently release. Same thing, other side. Palm up, anchor it down best as able, set that shoulder blade back and down, lengthening, chin in, like I'm trying to make a triple chin, looking down, and then rotating that chin like I'm trying to touch the right side collarbone. You'd like to use the fingertips of your left hand or reach up and across, and ever so gently, giving a little bit of overpressure. I wouldn't even really like to call it pressure, just a little bit of assistance. 1 or 2 more breaths there, and then go ahead and release. All right, everyone. Feel free to kind of tune in to whatever else your body may be asking for, some gentle neck rolls, some shoulder rolls. Keep that body loose and moving, especially after our session these next couple of days. Great to have you here today. Thanks for showing up, taking care of your body. Drink plenty of water, eat some vegetables, and we'll see you next time.